Genghis Khan is a name that echoes through history, a name that evokes both awe and terror. He is remembered as one of the greatest conquerors the world has ever known. But what made him truly unstoppable was not just his skill in battle. It was his mind, his understanding of fear, his ability to use strategy as a weapon, far beyond swords and arrows. Genghis Khan was born around 1162 in the harsh steppes of Mongolia. His birth name was Temujin. He was born into a world of constant tribal warfare and survival. His father was poisoned when Temujin was still a boy. His family was abandoned by their own tribe. They faced starvation, they faced betrayal, and young Temujin quickly learned that life was brutally unfair. These hardships shaped him. They taught him that survival required more than strength. It required cunning, it required strategy, and it required the ability to inspire loyalty and to instill fear in equal measure. By 1206, Temujin had united the Mongol tribes under a single banner. He took the title Genghis Khan, which means universal ruler. To conquer the known world, he had to revolutionize warfare. Genghis Khan's army was unlike any force the world had seen. It was fast, disciplined, organized with precision. Every soldier knew his role. Every horse was trained for long-distance travel. Unlike other empires, Genghis Khan did not rely on static defenses or overwhelming numbers. Instead, he relied on mobility, intelligence, and psychological warfare. Genghis Khan understood something profound. Fear can be as powerful as any weapon. When cities surrendered voluntarily, life continued. Trade routes remained open. Leaders were often spared. This encouraged others to surrender without a fight. But when cities resisted, the consequences were catastrophic. Entire populations could be wiped out. Survivors were often enslaved or forced into labor. Stories of these events spread far and wide. Fear traveled faster than any Mongol cavalry. One of the most feared tactics involved prisoners. Captured soldiers, civilians, or villagers from nearby towns were often forced to march at the front of Mongol armies. During sieges, prisoners were pushed towards city walls, sometimes carrying ladders, sometimes filling moats with their own bodies. From the defenders' perspective, this created an impossible choice. If they fired arrows, they would kill their own people. If they refused, the Mongol army would advance unchecked. Either way, the defenders lost. The physical damage was only part of the strategy. The real weapon was psychological. Stories spread. Merchants carried them from city to city. Refugees whispered of entire populations wiped out. Travelers spoke of leaders executed and survivors turned into tools of war. Long before Mongol soldiers arrived, fear arrived first. Many cities surrendered without a fight. They opened their gates not because they were weak, but because they were terrified of what resistance would bring. The use of prisoners also served another purpose. It reduced Mongol casualties. Genghis Khan valued efficiency above all else. Why risk trained soldiers when fear and psychological pressure could break the enemy first? From a modern perspective, these tactics are horrifying. By today's standards, they would clearly be considered war crimes. But the medieval world followed different rules. Genghis Khan believed that total domination required total obedience. Mercy was offered only to those who submitted immediately. Those who resisted became warnings to others. Through a combination of speed, strategy, and terror, Genghis Khan expanded his empire rapidly. He conquered northern China, Central Asia, and eventually territories stretching into Eastern Europe. But conquest was not chaos. Genghis Khan implemented laws known as the Yasa, which maintained order across his vast empire. He promoted religious tolerance, protected trade routes, and rewarded talent, regardless of social status. The Mongol Empire was, in many ways, a highly efficient machine. Its power came not just from fear, but from order and structure. Genghis Khan's legacy is complicated. He was ruthless, brilliant, strategic, and at times merciful. He reshaped the medieval world, creating an empire that facilitated trade, culture, and knowledge transfer across continents. Yet the shadow of fear he cast is undeniable. Cities surrendered before he arrived. Armies were broken without combat. He understood human psychology and he used it as a weapon. In the end, Genghis Khan did not just conquer land. He conquered minds, he broke wills, and he ensured that his name would be remembered for centuries. Genghis Khan's story is a reminder of the power of strategy, discipline, and fear in shaping history. He was more than a warrior. He was a master of control, a strategist, and a ruler who understood that true power comes not just from the sword, but from the mind. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.